Today's guest, you're going to be talking to Alicia Poszony, and she's a career coach, and she's going to help you shed your limiting beliefs and create your own success. I'm Steve Sapato. While you are familiar with storytelling, there's a new approach called storytizing that takes it to the next level. What sets me apart is my ability to teach you how to energize every talk, how to engage every audience, how to involve them, get them interested, asking questions, leaning forward and wanting more from you. I get you the accolades and results you want from every presentation you give. What you get from storytizing is more confidence, more visibility, more opportunities. Imagine you're a salesperson wanting to make $100,000 a year, but suddenly you're making $500,000 a year because you learned one new technique, storytizing, the ultimate training for your success. Hey, I'm Steve Sapato, and you're listening to the Know, Like, and Trust podcast. And today, I want you to know that I'm speaking with Alicia Poszony. Is that right, Poszony?
Close enough. It's Poszony.
Poszony. I'm talking with Alicia Poszony. I guess I should have asked that before I asked her to speak on the camera. Anyway, it's Alicia. Alicia, you want to tell us a little bit about you?
Yes. Hello, everyone. I am Alicia Poszony. I have 10 years experience as a career coach, and I've moved on to help people in other forums. I help mid-management in corporate shed limiting beliefs and reclaim their authentic self by becoming that top performer and taking meaningful action. I've done a lot of things in my life, such as I'm an author, I have books, I've done training with Rutgers University, and my main goal is to help people. So that's what I'm doing, operating out of a place of service and helping people to bridge that gap of where they are and where they want to go.
Now, see, I appreciate that. That's a good way to, because you said being your authentic self. And every time I hear that, I go, oh, you mean I'm not? What does that mean? I'm not my authentic self, right? So it's always a struggle for me when we use terms that are kind of out there. I say, they're over there because it's like, well, aren't you always your authentic self? Aren't you always this? And of course, some people, once you get the definitions down. So to me, it's how many people are mid-level managers who are stuck, right? And would like to be at the next level, move up in the corporation, would like to grow, begin and prosper themselves. And that is where you become the person that you really think you are, which is your authentic self. And so that's a challenge for me. But how do you do that, Alicia? How do you create that in people?
Yeah, so there's things that people do, maybe tied to the beliefs they have about themselves. And it could be from what they were taught, what they were told. It could be from experiences that they've lived, or even their career and how they landed in the position that they're in today. I know people that are afraid of change. I know that people sometimes don't want to take the step because they fear that they'll be judged, or maybe they just fear they won't be able to handle the responsibility. So when I've seen people that I work with in one-on-one as a coach, they're able to take steps in a relatively short time using their voice, something that they never thought they could do. And it helps them to realize that they're just as good as the leader that they admire. They've actually been able to take what they've learned and apply it. So when I say authentic self, it's giving permission to yourself to be who you truly are, not who you might think you are based on what you've been through.
I think that's really, she said so many things in that one little minute of conversation right there, which is we were taught, we have beliefs. I have people who say, I don't ever want to be a speaker, but they want to get on podcasts. They want to impact more people. And so, well, you have to be a speaker, but you see in their head to be a speaker, you have to want to go out and speak on big stages and speak for $10,000, $20,000. And they don't want to do that. But the key is when they take that part away, you're always trying to be a speaker. Anytime, matter of fact, I just posted something, I think it was on LinkedIn, that said there's a difference between speaking in public and public speaking. And truthfully, the only difference is that one is here, right? Because we say, I don't want to be a public speaker. That means the big stages. But I do want to be able to speak in public. I want to have more confidence. I want people to listen to me. I want to become more visible. I want the office to promote me. And the way you do that, and you can tell I'm a nutball. Boy, you got to take some public speaking training. You have to learn how to become that person. So when people say, I want to be this, and I'm holding my back, you go, do you know you're holding yourself back? And they go, well, I don't think I am. We all hold ourselves back with those wonderful taught beliefs. When I said something earlier, like authentic self, to go along with that, I suddenly, the fear of success. And I went, who would ever be afraid of success? But you are right, Alicia. People, they won't admit it. Maybe they don't even understand it. But to go that extra step, to take that next training, to go to that next level is scary, right?
It is. Steve, we have a lot in common. I have trained people on speaking as well. I've helped people get confidence on stage and on camera, clarity in their message, and power in their presentation. I myself have two podcasts, Rise and Resonate, which is a new one for leaders who want to lead with influence, earn uh, more income.
And wait, and so go back and tell me what the title of that is.
Yeah, that's Rise and Resonate.
Rise and Resonate. If you're looking for a podcast to listen to, guess what? There's the new one, Rise and Resonate.
Thank you. Yeah. And then the other one, which I've done for 2 years, it was a radio show on Power 98.5 FM satellite radio. That one is Resilient You with Alicia Poszony. Resilience is at the core of my message. And a lot of what I do when I work with people, either in helping them to be a better communicator or advance in career, it's that the main thing is using that voice. I touched on it a little earlier, but I really love what you said about people needing to get over those fears of success and having that training. Without training, we can't advance, we can't grow. And it's so important to not be stagnant and stuck, because that leads to different feelings, different emotions, and things that kind of prohibit us from living the life we're destined to live.
And it's crucial. She says destined to live. I look at it from just a different perspective, which is most of us want this. Is that our destiny? We go, I don't know if that's my destiny or not. I don't have a clue. But if you're a listener here and you say, I want my life to be different, then you're looking for a different destiny. And I got a t-shirt that says, hey, I want to live up to my density, and it's just fun to play on words. But when you talk about destiny, you just talk about your future. I mean, I tell people, I've got a little video out, Alicia, which is, if you're a parent, what's your greatest wish for your children? And that's more success and happiness. And how do you guarantee that your children will have both when they get to retirement age? Long after I'll be dead, my son will get to retirement age. How do I guarantee that he's going to be happier, healthier, and live a great life, especially in today's society? And I got a little video out there called The Rule of 72, which is teaching people, if you'll just put this much money away every month for your kid between the ages of 10 and 20, when they get to be 65, they'll be millionaires. How would you like it if your mom and dad had put it out so that when you hit 65 or 70, you'd receive $1 million? Would it change your life? It probably would. And so when we talk about what you're planning, you have to look at, what's my life today and how do I get it to where I want it to be? And the crucial thing here is inch by inch. When you talk to Alicia, when you hire Alicia to be your coach, she's not going to say, okay, we're going from here to right up here. No, she's going to say, okay, here's where you are. And this is where we want to take you, because then you'll understand this. What is it they say? When you walk a mile, you can see a mile.
Mm.
I think that's the phrase out there.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And other things have come to my mind as you've just said all of that. And where have you been all my life?
I love piquing each other's brains, don't you?
Yes, where have you been all my life? This rule of 72, oh my gosh, I need to start now. My kids, I've had a teenager and a sixth grader. And, there's so much now that I'm realizing, did I do it right? Did I do everything for them to be able to? And I just said this morning to my son, you know what's right for you, and I trust you. And that made me think about myself and my upbringing, what I didn't get. And of course, here I am now. I trust myself, but it's only after 30 years of living through that fear that I had a place and I didn't realize what my potential was. And once I said yes, all those doors started opening, Steve. It was amazing. I love bringing that to people.
There's a whole book out there, something about just say yes or something like that, right? But you know what's interesting, Alicia, I talk to people all the time, and I've got friends who they have children, I mean, young children. And like one family 2 years ago spent $10,000 to take their kids to Disney World, $10,000 vacation. And I said, because I've been preaching to them for a couple of years, if you'll put $100 a month away for your kid from age 10 to age 20, when they're 65, they'll have $1 million, deaf ears. Then I learned they spent $10,000 to take them to Disney World. They went, yeah, but look at the memories. I went, I'm going to ask you a question. When your kid's 65, are they going to go, remember that vacation I took to Disney World? Or are they going to go, holy crap, my mom left me $1 million? So we all do
Yeah,
things different than we might want to as we look back on our lives.
yeah, it's different when you think about that because again, people operate oftentimes out of emotion. And when they do that, that's why being a woman, it's an amazing thing, but only when you learn to have that emotion dance with the logic. So to your point, it's wonderful when you can grasp that new thing. And one of the things I always have people do is continual learning. I talked about growth earlier. I talked about the importance of being able to grow so that you don't stay stuck and build resentments and lose time. So that's where the point of being able to make that logic dance with the emotion. It's crucial.
It is. And, as we talk here about uh, creating our own success, if you're a middle manager, if you're somebody, and you don't have to be in a company, you can be at a place in your life where you say, I want to have more. I want to be more. I want to become more. Then it's a matter of personal growth. Everything we do is personal growth. If your company's not doing something for you, then do it for yourself. Warren Buffett put out a thing that said, the average employee increases their personal value by 50% simply by taking a public speaking course. And you think, well, why would he say that? And because it changes us. It changes our confidence level. It changes how people look at us. It changes how people react to us. It changes how we teach our children. It teaches how we react to our spouse. All that stuff because you gained a little confidence by learning how to speak in public. And we say speak in public. Well, you know what? If you can talk in front of the PTA, I don't know if they have PTAs anymore, but if you can talk in front of the PTA or you can talk in front of the Knights of Columbus, just for a 5-minute conversation where somebody says about this, that's a challenge that you face because your confidence will change who you are. So take that next step. Reach out to Alicia. How do they get a hold of you if they wanted to find out more about your coaching?
Yeah, thank you. I'm available on socials. You can just Google my name. You can go to my website,
No,
aliciapozony.com.
now, wait a minute. Back up. I couldn't even pronounce your name, and you're expecting
Oh,
people listening to be able to spell it?
yes. You can go to www.aliciapozony.com. And it's
Wait, wait,
something that
wait.
is
Now, people are just getting out their ink pens, so you got to do that again.
okay, sure. Alicia Poszony. It's ALICIA POZSONY. Poszony. You can Google me. If you Google Alicia Poz, POZ, it'll come up. So
Oh,
you could start with that if you like.
that's nice to having a unique name, isn't it? It's easily found. I've had lots of people who had to put a middle initials or something in because they had the same name, and there's 20 other people with their name out there.
Yes, that is a benefit. And the PTAs, they do exist,
Oh,
and speaking of speaker training, I joined Toastmasters not too long ago. When I give speeches there, people are so motivated and impressed. They move to act even in ways that are just in tune to them. And as a speaker on stages, that's what I can do. But the difference of the coaching is more personal. And so, for example, I want to tell you about a client that I had. I have a client and knew, and she was through years of trauma, she had become a trauma coach. Yet she was still timid and shy. And when she heard me give a speech on Be Your Own Hero, she said, how did you speak for 45 minutes and you didn't miss a beat? You didn't lose our attention. It was amazing.
yeah. How do you do
So
that?
she yeah, and there's techniques and there's things you should do. You should practice, you should have feedback and be open for that. But the thing about it is that I took her in 2 weeks. Not only did she start interviewing on podcasts, she started her own radio show. She was able to move forward in her movie making. Things happened that were just amazing for her. She's the person I
Changed
love
her
to.
life. You changed her life.
Exactly. And I love to talk about that because I did it for myself too. And it's so amazing. I see people who are stuck and they say, I hate this day. They wake up, what am I? Oh, this day sucks. Well, no, it doesn't. It's your perception. It's how you're looking at things that make you feel that and say that. You can it's amazing when you have gratitude and you have a path and a plan, as you said.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that you really have to deal with on a personal level. How do I make myself happier? How do I make myself healthier? I mean, I've known people who were dying, who were in great moods and still told jokes, and yet I know people who are living who are miserable and always complain. You get to make your own path in this world. And you said something. You said Toastmasters. The one thing I think Toastmasters helps with is getting over your initial fear of speaking. But what they lack is the real discernment for how to connect with an audience. I teach a thing called storytizing. I say it's the next generation. I'm the only one teaching storytizing because people teach origin stories, people tell storytelling, and most of the time people are boring. It makes me nuts when I see boring presenters, people who stand on stage trying to sell their services, especially people who do financial services. It's like, hey, I have this product and I have that product, and this is what the stock market's doing. And you're like, shut up, right? How can you reach your audience? And this storytizing that I've developed is really about taking people and helping them find a way to connect to the audience. It's the audience connection that's going to make a difference because whether it's a one-person audience like your boss, or whether it's a 50-person audience that you're speaking to, or it's a 500-person audience that you're speaking to, learning how to tell a story so that you're involving the audience using their memories, their emotions, their experiences. I've had a lot of Toastmaster people come to me, and the one thing that stands out for me is how, and I'm not sure why Toastmasters, maybe they teach it, but I call it wandering the stage. So people, instead of standing there and having a motivation to move, like if you ever watch a TEDx, some of the people look scripted in how they move. They got to move to the back of the circle before they do this, and they got to move to the front of the circle for that. And I've watched Toastmasters people who just kind of wander from this, and I'm guilty of that. You wander the stage. It's like, hey, I'm talking to this, and then I wander over here. When we should be, if you got a coach, you should be focused and give a reason for your movement. So if you've got somebody over here, you move to that audience and then you talk to those people and then you move here. But wandering is so, it really detracts from your ability to be powerful in your conversation. That's the same with listening to people. I've watched people, Alicia, who will talk to you, boring as heck. And when you're looking all the way to say, I'm bored to death, they don't even notice that they are boring. So that's one of the challenges. And that's what obviously you see by my poster here. I hate boring speakers and presenters. And if you're looking to grow as a person, the one thing you should reach out to Alicia for is learning how to not be boring, learning how to tell a story using the memories of the audience, the emotions of the audience, the experiences of the audience, so that when you tell something, they go, oh, yeah, I had that happen to me. They don't say it out loud. They say it in their heads. They're immediately connected. Have you ever sat in front of, remember when you were in school and you had just drifted off? I mean, you were gone in this class. And then the teacher would say, you're like, they'd go, Mr. Sapato, what do you think of that? And you'd be going, you have no idea. That's how most of us treat an audience. We let them go to sleep and then we do something that might perk them up, but we're not continually involving them. And that's where Alicia can help you folks. So Alicia, by the way, how many books have you written? I see several behind you.
Yeah, so I have 3 books that I wrote on my own, and I have 2 books that I collaborated on with other women, and then I have one book that I wrote with my daughter.
Oh,
So the book started, I did Emotional Strength Explained as the opening to this phase of my life, this successful phase of my life, I'll say. I learned the thing that I had done all my life after writing my memoir. And the beta readers of that book said, well, how did you turn out so well? I never would have turned out as well if
What
I,
happened to you that you turned out, huh?
yeah. So I realized it was this process that got me there. So this Emotional Strength Explained, it's a self-help workbook, 30 days to get to that place where you can step into the direction you need to go.
And where do they
It,
get that?
you can get that online where books are sold on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Target, Walmart. It's available everywhere.
Can they get it at your website?
They can get it at my website.
Well, then
Yes.
don't send them anywhere. Don't send them anywhere else. Say, come to my website. We want you to stay at her website. We want you to learn from her. We want you to contact her, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm in it for the people, not for myself. I really am. I would love it if you found this book on a deeper discount. So I'm not going to hold that to you. But yes, then I have two books, Steve, that are for kids and caregivers.
Oh,
Fun book, which is the one I did with my daughter for kids ages 5 to 7. There's another book, The Ultimate Teen Guide to Being Happy, and that one is for
oh.
ages 8 to 12.
I
So
love
it's
that title. I love that. Say that title again.
the ultimate guide.
Oh,
It's
she
the
forgot it. She forgot. I'm gonna
it's
call.
new.
I'm gonna tell your
It,
mom.
I don't know if you edit this, but
No,
the
it's too much fun.
ultimate. No, it's the ultimate tween guide to being happy.
There you go.
That's
I
the
love that.
title.
I love it.
But
And
but
if you've got children, if you're listening to this and you've got kids, boy, I'll tell you what, happiness is something that you have to design in you. It's something that you have to seek and you have to go after because you know what? There's so much negative out there. Every commercial says you're not good enough unless you're using my medication or using my product. Like you got to use my deodorant to smell good enough. You have to use my makeup to look good enough. Everything out there is a negative that says you're not good enough. I honestly would reach out. It's at your website also, right? Yeah,
yes.
I would go to her website and I would look for this book if you've got any preteens or people just coming into that, because it's maybe you're not even the happiest person out there. Teach your kids how to be happier. Boy, I'm telling you, there's so many negative people and so many people who are not having good years. And I'm 75 years old, and I'm around 70-year-olds to 85-year-olds. And there's a few that are great and happy all the time. And there's a whole bunch that are just grumpies, right?
Wow, Steve, I never would have guessed that with your energy. That's
Oh, thanks.
amazing. Yeah, and
I'm
the
gonna.
piece
By the way, oh no, I'm not.
the, we don't want any kind of heart conditions going on here.
That's right. That's right.
The piece about the kids today, and I know from experience, is that they are, of course, they know it all and they don't want to learn like we learned. And so it's hard to make those connections and get them to understand and appreciate the way that we did. So you have to meet them halfway. And part of what's in the book is about that view they have of themselves and how to detract from what they see online. And it's really timely and really useful. So definitely check this book out if you have teens or if you're a grandparent and
Yeah,
you have
absolutely.
teenagers. Just last week, I was doing a conference in Jacksonville and I met up with these two wonderful grandparents. And my daughter was with me and she looks 15, even though she's 12. But they
Oh,
said, yeah, you're with your mom. That's great. Our grandkids don't give us the time of day. Well, the next thing you know, she said, you can go to Snapchat. My daughter and I were telling them use Snapchat and send them snaps every day. So this is one of the tips that you can do right away to make connection with those younger generations. Download the Snapchat app and then send them a snap, which is a picture. It could be of your ceiling, your floor, yourself, and you send them that snap, but you have to do it every day because you can't break the streak. If you do this, that connection will be improved. I promise.
and again, let's say that you're my age, right? And you want to do that with your grandchildren. And you're like, I don't know how to do that. I guarantee you this, you reach out to Alicia and she will help you do that. So that's one of those deals where look for help where you can find it. Look to make connections where you find them. Alicia is looking to make more connections with people because she wants to help more people. And that's crucial. We don't necessarily want to get rich. And I'll tell you what, some of us have 4, 5, 6 books out there. And the average book that is self-published sells less than 200 copies in the lifetime of the book. So we're not making money on most of the books we offer. We're trying to help more people. And that's why you'll see, if you come to stevesapatoseminars.com, you'll see free ebooks on how to be better speakers or how to be a better salesperson, because we want to help you succeed. And you'll see right here. Go ahead, Alicia.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
there it is.
For the managers and the entrepreneurs out there and people who want to lead and step into their better life, you can take advantage of this new book for you, which is 25 Essentials to Thrive Beyond 2025. This book was something that not only will give you the advice and help to take the steps in a manageable way, but also there's a timeline in here that gives you a calendar and a list that will help you every day for a year on how to get to where you want to go. This helps you with connections with people. It helps you to take steps to become more outspoken or become an extrovert if you're an introvert. There's things that help you in your business strategies. I'm telling you, this is something you want to pick up. Now, this is available on my website, which is Alicia Poszony, ALICIAPOZSONY.com. It's not yet out on Amazon. I'm going to do a release the second half of the year. But if you want to get the advanced copy, you can go to my website. And if you reach out to me and mention that I was on Steve Sapato's podcast, you know what? I'll send you a copy for free.
I want one.
Great. I'll send it. I'll send it to you, Steve. But you've got to be on my podcast, Rise and Resonate.
That'd
I love
be fabulous.
everything you said about stopping boring speakers, especially. I'd love to talk with you more about that.
That'd be fabulous. Yeah, we'll set that up after. So after I click off, don't go away because we'll have a conversation. But
Perfect.
we're out of time, unfortunately. But this has been fabulous, and I want you to understand that we're here to help you become whatever it is you want to be. You can reach me at steve@stevesapato.com. Certainly go to stevesapatoseminars.com. But what I want you to do for me right now, folks, is to reach up and click that subscribe button. That's what I want. I want you to be able to come on every week, sometimes twice a week, to click that subscribe button. And that's what it's all about, is connecting with more people, finding out and personally growing. I have experts on like Alicia every week who are just full of information that will change your life, change your relationships. I didn't know that we'd be talking about your kids or your grandkids and how to connect with them on Snapchat, because let's face it, when you get to be a certain age, technology does kind of slip away from you. So some people have to help us find what we need. And so if you don't know about Snapchat, reach out to Alicia. And Alicia, last chance for you to tell them how to get in touch with you.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on Facebook, whatever the platform. Just search Alicia Poz or Alicia Poszony, Pozzsony. I would love to connect with you. You can reach me at whatever way. And if you want to use a phone, you can call me directly, 908-227-1055.
Say that again.
908-227-1055.
Wow, she wants you to use your phone. Heck, my son won't even use the phone. He has to text me. He won't answer the phone when I call because he said, "Dad, why are you calling me when you could text?" I go, "Wait a minute. Why not just talk?" But everything changes in our lives, and we have to adapt to those changes. Isn't that right? Hey, this has been really fun, Alicia. I really appreciate you. Stay on a little bit after this, and we'll have this conversation for ourselves. But folks, I want you to understand that Alicia is here for you. I want you to reach out and pick her brain. Find out what you don't know about how to be happier, healthier, have better relationships, how to have a better life. And if you're stuck someplace, whether it's in your life or whether it's in your company, she can help you get unstuck. How great would that be? Okay. Thanks a lot for being on, Alicia. I hope you have a blessed day, and we will talk again soon.
Thank you, Steve. My pleasure.
I'm Steve Sapato. While you are familiar with storytelling, there's a new approach called storytizing that takes it to the next level. What sets me apart is my ability to teach you how to energize every talk, how to engage every audience, how to involve them, get them interested, asking questions, leaning forward and wanting more from you. I get you the accolades and results you want from every presentation you give. What you get from storytelling is more confidence, more visibility, more opportunities. Imagine you're a salesperson wanting to make $100,000 a year, but suddenly you're making $500,000 a year because you learned one new technique, storytelling, the ultimate training for your success.
Yeah.